NeYo, entertainer, singer, songwriter, personality, recently spoke on a podcast where he said that he feels like parents have forgotten what it means to be a parent. That if your kid wants to eat candy all day and you let him, he's going to do it. If a 5-year-old comes who says he feels like a girl, you got to tell him what the world's all about. Well, NeYo's apologizing. I want to tell you, NeYo, I hope you hear this somehow, some way. I want to tell you something. It was brave, honorable, and important that you did that interview where you spoke the truth. It was important because you got kids, and those kids are going to grow up in a world of either pain or of prosperity. And whether or not there will be shade from a tree for which they can sit beneath and not only cool themselves off on a hot summer day, but perhaps enjoy the fruit of those trees. The only way that happens if you today plant the tree knowing you will never sit beneath that shade. You will never experience the cool breeze beneath the tree and the fresh fruit that came from it. As the saying goes, a society grows great when people plant trees whose shade they know they will never sit beneath. So I ask you, NeYo, what world are you leaving behind for your children? Are you raising the earth and salting the fields for a short-term gain for you so you can be famous? Making sure to destroy everything around you so that your children will be left to suffer? You're not a man. You are not a father. You're a failure in this apology. And it's sad because you stepped up and you spoke the truth to create a better world, to create a better world for your kids, what a real man would do to protect their children. And then for some reason, someone calls you on the phone, you have a meeting, and they say they want you, NeYo, to sacrifice your children for their political cause. And you said yes. You're no man. You're no father. You have sacrificed the future of your children for yourself so you can be famous. You're not going to come to me and tell me that you're not rich. You're not going to come to me and tell me that you've not set up a future for them that they can survive. No, right now, it's about your status, your feelings, your prosperity, your world, your social acceptance. And you would burn down the lives of your own children to extract just a little bit more for yourself. Well, you deserve to lose everything. I'll say it again, it's sad, because you were right there. You were right there. Let me play for everybody. I want everybody to hear what you had to say. Everybody's going to hear what you have to say, and they're going to say, this guy NeYo, he's a good guy. That's what they would have said until you came out and apologized for being correct. Now they're going to say, you sold out your own kids. You're no man. You're no father. You are no father.
It annoys me.
I mean, anything can trigger you. A light can trigger you. A smell can trigger you. So, I mean, we got to walk on eggshells. Well, that's what they want us to.
That's what they want us to do.
But
my generation, there were no trigger warnings. Okay, you got up and you kept moving. That's kind of what it has to be.
We was kicked outside. We would come inside before the lights go down.
Exactly
if
that.
we got bumps and bruises, we just washed it off with the hose outside.
Yeah, you was good. Come on, man.
It's totally different
We
times.
need to get back to them days. I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
Lost control.
If your little boy comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, and you just let him rock with that,
Right.
He's 5.
Right. And where did he get that from?
If you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's going to do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
Right.
When did that happen?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that.
And to medicate these young kids that are 5, 6, growing up and knowing that it affects their brain. It affects their organs. It makes them sick, but they're not allowed to do drugs. They're not allowed to do alcohol.
Right.
We can medicate
He
them
can't
up.
drive a car yet, but he can decide his sex.
Right. Oh, right. What sexual orientation, and he can cut off his pee and that, to me, that makes no sense
And
whatsoever.
so I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that they either passed or are trying to pass a law in LA that states if your child comes to you and asks to do some of these things and you say no, they can take your kid from you.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true. Just passed in California.
That makes no sense.
They want us.
Listen to this man. This man right here. This is what a brave man looks like. This is what a hero and a father looks like. This is what a man looks like when he says what they're doing is bad, and you got to remember what it means to be a parent. This guy's no father. This guy's, those were hollow words spoken by a guy who just thought he was going to get a few extra clicks. Look at this. He posted this on Instagram. I'm a father before I'm anything else. Not money, not fame, not even the love of the craft. I do this for them. They are my reason. I'm nowhere near perfect, and that's okay. He says, my kids love me, and I die, kill, steal, whatever to make sure they never need for anything. The best thing. Okay. Let me do a quick Google search here. Again, I don't know if this is, these are always accurate, but, and they're typically not, but the NeYo net worth. What's NeYo worth? $9 million. $9 million? I don't think those things are correct. You can Google search like insert person's net worth. I know, you know, when they talk about me, it's not true, the numbers they give. But let's just assume, I mean, this is a famous musician and entertainer. He ain't poor. What do your kids need, NeYo? What is right for your kids? I mean, you know it. You said it right here in this interview. These kids can't decide for themselves. They can't be taking medication and doing all this stuff. So what did you do? What did you choose to do? You're a father? I don't know. Let me ask you. You said you'd steal, you'd kill, you'd do whatever. Are you kidding, bro? You're so desperate and scared of losing fame that you came out and publicly stated that children can get sex changes and do whatever. You're in this video saying that if you're in LA and a kid comes to you and you don't do it, they'll take your kids away. And you've now come out and apologized. You're saying that's good? You're saying the state should take someone's children away if they don't agree with what the kid is saying? Bro, you're no man. You're no father. You just sold your kids to the devil. To the devil. For what? Money and fame. Let me show you what he said. After much reflection, I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate for the love and inclusivity of the LGBTQI community, so I understand how my comments could be interpreted as insensitive and offensive. Gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic so I can approach future conversations with more empathy. At the end of the day, I lead with love and support everyone's freedom of expression and pursuit of happiness. Yeah, thanks for that, brother. You live in California? Is that where you live? Let's see. I mean, where does this guy? I imagine he lives in California, right? They're gonna come. They're gonna take your kids away, and you know what? When they do, I'm gonna say, "What are you complaining about?" So let's see. We got this guy's Wikipedia early life. Camden, Arkansas, man. Went to Vegas, and let's see. NeYo. Do they mention where he lives? Maybe he's not in California. You know what I see with all of this is I see the failures of our modern world, of our society, of our culture. You know, the idea that this dude would say this thing, it represents everything. That men would sacrifice their own children, the future for their children, for personal gain. That's what this country has become. That's what this country is all about. Man, it breaks my heart to see this because a moment ago, we were looking at the definition of a father with the statements he gave. We were looking at what the founding fathers represented, and he walked away from all of it. Why? Because he wants to be famous. That's all it is. There's nothing else there. He'll deny it. He'll say whatever he can say, but let's be real. A man of his wealth and means could retire today, and his children would want for nothing. So why not? Why not come out and say, y'all can cancel me, you can cancel my shows, you can fire me, but guess what? I will not sell my children's future. Because he's already provided for them. There are people in this world who make $50K a year and they provide for their kids and they do a dang good job of it. But this guy, he wants to be famous so bad. He wants to be famous so bad that he would literally take his own children and hand them to the devil. I mean that figuratively. I don't mean literally the devil. I'm saying he would sacrifice the future of his own kids. It's a deal with the devil in the figurative sense. He wants to be famous so bad, he would hand off his children's future and the future of other kids. That's what he's saying right here with all this. That's not what a man is. That's not. The founding fathers, true representations of heroism, of masculinity, of fatherhood. And did you know that some of these founding fathers put their own families on the line? And you might say, well, how could you do that? How could you, as a man, sign a document knowing now you're going to put your family in danger? Because there's one truth that y'all need to understand. The fathers, the founding fathers of this nation, and the fathers of these children, one and the same, they knew that life under the tyranny of the crown was condemnation for their children, their children's children, their children's children's children. And they knew while there would be risk to their kids, and some saw it, families being captured, they knew it had to be done because this was the best way forward to protect their family. Now, these men were rich and wealthy. They could have sat back and said, no, I got money, dude. I'm not going to put anything at risk for this. I'm rich. Man, I can have a turkey dinner tomorrow. I got to work. Instead, they said, you know what? There is not a penny to my name that I would sell my children to keep. So they sacrificed everything. Everything. Knowing. And I hear people say like, oh, but I'm worried about my family and I'm worried about my kids. You got to worry about the future they're going to have. Short-term gains, long-term losses. What a disgrace, NeYo. Breaks my heart, man. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel, and I'll see you all then.